You know, they always say championships are won on those tough, ugly days, not the easy ones. And today, we're going to break down a match that might just be the perfect example of that. Arsenal's nail-biting 2-1 win over Brighton. Seriously, this was about so much more than just 3 points. It was a real test of character, and maybe, just maybe, a sign of what's to come.
Look, on paper, it's just another win. But if you dig a little deeper, this match felt like a whole season wrapped up in 90 minutes. It showed the pressure, the challenges, and the kind of pure grit you need to win a Premier League title. It wasn't about how Arsenal played when they were cruising, but how they survived when they were on the ropes. So let's get into why this one felt so significant. Okay, first things first, let's set the stage, because the real drama actually started before the game even kicked off. This wasn't your average Sunday afternoon match for Arsenal. It was a massive, high-pressure test of their nerve right from the get-go.
And this is where things get really interesting from a psychological standpoint. Arsenal started the day at the top of the table, feeling good, but right before their match, Manchester City gets a win, and boom, just like that, Arsenal are knocked down into second. The pressure is instantly cranked all the way up. Suddenly, it's not about protecting a lead. It's about having to fight to get back on top before the day's even over.
And it wasn't just the league table causing them a headache. Oh no. Arsenal were dealing with a major defensive crisis. Jurriën Timber was already out long-term. Then Ricardo Calafiori gets injured in the warm-up. This forced a huge, last-minute reshuffle, where the star midfielder Declan Rice having to be shoehorned in at right-back. I mean, this isn't just a minor tweak. It's a massive test of your squad's depth and adaptability, minutes before a must-win game.
So, with all that chaos before the match, how did Arsenal respond? Well, for about the first hour, it was absolute one-way traffic.
They came out of the gates flying. Only 14 minutes in, you've got Bukayo Saka teeing up the captain, Martin Ødegaard, for his first league goal of the season. Then, not long after halftime, they get a second, a Georginio Rutter own goal from a corner. At 2-0, you're thinking, okay, game, set, and match.
And if you need a picture of just how dominant they were, check this out. In the entire first half, Arsenal had 15 shots. 15! And Brighton? 0. A big, fat 0. Not one single attempt on goal. It was just total, overwhelming control.
But you know how it is in the Premier League. That feeling of total control, yeah, it can disappear in a flash. And that's exactly what happened here, which led to a super nervy finish.
So at this point, everybody in the stadium, everybody watching at home, we're all thinking the same thing. This is done. A comfortable, routine 2-0 win.
But then, this happened. Brighton, the team that couldn't get a single shot off in the first half, finally puts one on target, and it completely flipped the entire script of the game.
And it goes in. A long-range shot from Yasin Ayari smacks off the post, and Diego Gómez is right there to smash home the rebound. All of a sudden, it's 2-1, and it is a completely different ball game. All that comfort, gone. Just like that. Replaced with pure nail-biting tension.
So what happened? What caused this massive momentum shift? Well, a huge part of it was what you could call the Minte effect. This Brighton substitute, Yankuba Minte, he came on at halftime, and his incredible pace just caused all sorts of trouble for that patched-up Arsenal backline. He was the guy who changed the game for them.
Okay, so the momentum has completely flipped. The pressure is on. How on earth did Arsenal manage to see this one out? Let's take a look at the anatomy of this really crucial, hard-fought win.
Well, a massive, massive reason they got through it comes down to one guy, their goalkeeper, David Raya. He was, quite rightly, named player of the match for what he did late in the game.
And this quote from BBC Sport just sums it up perfectly. Brighton were pushing, really pushing for an equalizer, and who was it? Of course, it was Minte again, with a curling shot that looked destined for the top corner. But Raya pulls off what the report calls a magnificent save to keep Arsenal ahead. That right there, that was the game-winning moment.
So you can just imagine those final minutes. The clock's ticking down, and you can just feel the nerves spreading around the stadium. But then, a really important change is made. The center back Gabriel, who's been out for a while with an injury, comes off the bench to help lock things down. With that extra bit of steel, the defense just managed to hang on and grind out the win.
So what does it all mean? What's the bigger picture here after a win like that? Well, it puts Arsenal in a position that's very familiar and maybe just a little bit cursed. Those 3 points, earned the hard way, sent them right back to the top of the league, 2 points clear of Manchester City. For now, mission accomplished.
Here's where history adds a fascinating little wrinkle. This is now the 5th time since 2002 that Arsenal will be top of the league on Christmas Day.
And here it is, the final million-dollar question that this whole game really brings into focus. Every single one of those previous times they've been top at Christmas, they have never gone on to win the title. So after grinding out a win like this one, a win built on early dominance, late-game nerves, and pure resilience, you just have to ask, is this the year they finally break that curse?